All right. What are we playing today?
City Skylines.
City Skylines. I have that game.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why we picked it. So this is our opportunity. Eric and I both play video games, and we thought it would be fun to play a video game and talk about how in these video games or in these simulated experiences, we can use our UU sources and our UU principles to make decisions. And this came about simply because I was explaining some unconscious bias as I had in playing the game myself, as compared to when my own husband plays this game. And we thought it would be fun. So this will not be the only game that we talk theology about, but this will be the first one we do. And it's City Skylines, which is a city simulator. So there's a lot of fun stuff to explore. We'll see if we kill our people off or not.
We'll see. And just to be clear, we're going to be playing on your computer, and I am essentially an observer and commentator and suggester of strategy and tactics.
Yes.
I do not have any control over what happens in the game.
Yes, and I'm a terrible road drawer. So, so we're gonna have some fun though. So we've picked out our plot of land. For those of you who never played this game, we picked out a plot of land, and you get a certain amount of money. I have mods, so we'll actually get more money to start. It says 70,000, but guess what? We're gonna have a lot more than that in a second, as soon as the game catches up. Just because I like that mod. I don't think it's cheating. I don't think any real city starts off building with $70,000.
Well, things are a little cheaper in this game. Like, you don't actually have to pay to construct houses. You just zone them for free, and they build themselves. And you zone commercial districts, and they build themselves. And you zone industry, and it builds itself.
And that's what everything is based off of, the 3 zones. So for those of you who've never played the game, which seems a little silly, but you have 3 zones. You have your residential, you have your commercial, and then you have industry and office, which comes later. And as you can tell, the game's yelling at us, build some roads. So this is our starting highway. And this actually is the first conversation I want to have with Eric about morality, is that one of the problems that most people often have with this game is that they just build a basic road. Like, right, but your people deserve better traffic than that.
Well, but at the beginning of the game, you have to balance how much money you have with what you are actually capable of doing. And that's a real world problem.
It is a real world problem, the needs, but we can do a lot.
Well, you have a cheat turned on that apparently gives us more money than it says we have.
So it's a mod.
Oh, sorry, a mod.
I have a lot of mods. I own every expansion to this game, just to kind of highlight it. But you'll see, as Eric said, we don't even have access to all the road types yet.
No, we got to build our city up a little bit. And you get more access to different features of the game and different things in the game as your city grows in population.
Yes. And one of the first things that we have, that I have access to, that is a cheat here, or as Eric called it, it's not a cheat.
Mod.
Is a mod. Is the ability to place roads. Dun, 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 dun. Is the ability to place roads in roundabouts. And one of the things.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah. One of the things that you can do from a roundabout perspective, if it lets me actually place them. I've never placed a roundabout this early in the game. Oh, it's not going to let me because it doesn't have access to it.
Yeah, you got to build some kind of intersection as it comes off the highway and then go from there. And that first merger of trying to get the 2 one-way highways to join together is the hard part of it.
Well, let me show you the secret to that, Eric. You're getting ready to get an education. I can't build any interstate yet, but I can build. So these are one-way interstates, like real roads. So you place it, then you page up. Look, I've elevated it. Right? Oh, watch this. You're going to love this. So then you change the type of road. Instead of a straight road, I'm going to build a curved road. This is for people who've never played the game. This is the secret right here, my friend, and while this road's going to look like it's going backwards, I can switch it around. This is the secret to surviving your first city encounter. They call this The joke is this is the vanilla entry. So look, then we go back to the curved road. And what this will do is this will give them a better traffic starting. Do you like that, Eric?
I do. That's I've been approaching that style of building, but that it might be even better for sure.
Yeah, it's a vanilla start. That's what they call it. So there you go. Look, they all match. So in and out, easy peasy. Now, something else about this game that kind of is that it also right off the bat kind of has to do with morality, because I've played it so many times, is it's telling us down here we need to build houses, right? And the game itself, as soon as I hit play, because it's paused right now. Though. Yeah. As soon as I hit play, it's going to yell at us and tell us you need to build housing.
Yeah, well, we're going to do all of that before we turn the game from pause to go fast.
Yeah. So, Eric, but here's the thing with housing and the conversation that we often need to have about what it means to be human in the world. We're modern humans. We need electricity. Yeah. We need water. Yeah. Right. We make trash. We
need sewers.
We need sewers.
And I see we're next to a river.
Yes. We have a water source.
Although you can start your water source with just the water tank. You don't have to go to the river right off the bat.
Yeah, you don't. But to process out your water,
yes, and that implies that someone downstream is going to get a mountain of something.
Of poo. And let's be real, this is the nature. I would use a different word, but this is the nature of the game. Is you have to make these decisions immediately that are very morally interesting. So
ethical.
Ethical, yes. Decisions. Let's just go ahead and place. So here's the zoning. Let's place some zoning and hit play, so that we can show everybody what we mean. The game's not dumb. It knows that we need to do this, right? So where do you want to put this housing, Eric? Like right
I don't care. Put it wherever you want.
Okay.
I don't have any control over it. No, not there. Put it somewhere else. What is that going to do? No, you should have put it on the other side of the street. And now I'm just nagging you.
So we'll just put some here.
And for anyone watching who's old school, this game is basically an updated version of SimCity.
Yeah, it's just it's got some good, yeah. Look, it's telling us if it's not where you want it, you can bulldoze it. This is our bulldozer, very handy. I've bulldozed a lot. We'll get there later. I have a city with 500,000 people.
Well, given that you haven't put it cross streets anywhere, you're going to end up having to bulldoze somebody's house eventually.
Yes. And I tend to, you notice I didn't put any housing over here. I tend to automatically, having played this game a lot, make the moral choice. This is one of those moral choices my husband made fun of, where I don't go all the way to the edge of a turn because I know I'm going to expand the road. And that's what I automatically was doing, like unconsciously. I wish I was joking. This is
going to be a long game, I can tell.
Oh no.
So why is there unused space next to our road? That's what I'm going to ask all the time.
Yeah. So the game is on pause. You notice our money amount went up. Oh, look, you need to grow the city to get more stuff. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
So look. Oh, our first citizens. Hold on. I'm so excited.
Well, we'll see. Once that's built, they'll start moving in.
Look, so I watch a streamer who always gets the name of the first citizen of any town he builds. And I always laugh when he does it, because this is our first house. And you can actually zoom in and click on them, and every person in your city has a name.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. For those of us who played old school SimCity, that's way beyond.
My son likes going through the city, whatever we've built, and looking at all the names of the streets, because they're all different.
And you can name them in this one. We can name every.
I think we can in the PlayStation version as well. You can do.
Oh yeah,
you just never bother because it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I name. Oh, on the PlayStation, yeah, I can name this. Look, I can name this. Look, here we go.
Oh, you know what, Elizabeth? Who is the famous UU ward? No, not Eric Road. It was already Ward.
So look. Let me pause it. It's yelling at us.
What's it yelling at us? Oh, we have no water or electricity.
Yep. So now we got to make some choices. Electricity first, Eric. What do you want to do?
You always got to do the windmill.
Okay.
You just place one right behind the houses and off you go.
Yep. Notice how loud it is.
Oh, then you have to run, well, so the other option is to build the coal plant far away
Mm-hmm.
in your industrial zone that's going to pollute anyways.
Because you
It's
have to
it's
pollute.
only an incremental increase in pollution, and it doesn't actually pollute the places people live, and it's a horrible decision. I can just see the comments if we were live streaming this, like, no coal plants. Your virtual sim people are going to choke to death on the coal smoke. And the answer is, yeah, they are, sadly. But we don't have solar or hydro yet,
No, we will. This is a
let
solar plant.
alone nuclear.
Oh yeah,
And
my favorite is actually this one.
oh, wait. You've got mods. I see. I don't have these mods. I stop at the nuclear power plant.
Yeah, I have lots of stuff. This is like an underwater ocean thermal
sweet.
power, geopower,
Draft tower.
lots of stuff. But we don't have them yet because our city's not big enough.
So we got to grow the city. Okay, so I don't care. Let's. Why are you putting this on me?
Because I've made every other decision.
Oh man, you just have to keep building windmill after windmill after.
They don't generate enough power in the game to do much.
Once you have the advanced windmills, they're a lot better. They're twice as powerful.
But still
But if there's no wind, can you turn on the wind thing so we can see where there is wind? Because I didn't even put it where I wanted to. I think we have to. You're killing me, Smalls. Is that going to be a copyright strike?
Nope, shouldn't be.
Okay. I'm going to say a coal plant on the other side of our underpass thing, far away.
Okay, so let me give you. I think that's a good idea because let me give you another thing I know about this particular map.
Well, the other thing is this: as soon as we turn it to live and we start having people in houses, they have to have jobs, which means we're going to need to have industry.
And if you see this dark spot here on the ground, that's actually ore. So when we unlock ore, we can actually do our own stuff. So we're gonna go simple for now. So we're gonna make it so that they can go in and out of this area. All right, here we go. Coal plant right here.
Oh, here comes the approbations.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hear about this. This is the idea, and this goes all the way back. Like, let's be real. These are my power lines, by the way. But this goes all the way back to the idea that we are to care for the earth. We are not owners of it. So how do we sort of like justify what we're getting ready to do? I don't know. We're just like I think all people. By the way, we want our water intake upstream, so we don't.
So we're gonna do water that way without the tank.
What do you want to do the water tank?
No, I don't know how much money. Oh, wait a second. How much money do we have? What happened?
Mod.
Oh, so we now have 452,218, whatever this monetary unit is called.
Simoleons. I think that one's
they're simoleons. I'm sure Will Wright is like, yeah, thanks guys. And okay, all right. Yes, just put it that, like, I'm over it. We got the money. Maybe Bill Gates gave our new town a ton of money to go green, but we can't yet. So yeah, put the water pump upstream
right here,
and put the water treatment facility as far downstream as we can when we get to that point.
Oh, we will in just a second. So this is the thing about the game, because it's trying to teach us. It's trying to teach. See, these are everybody within this little blue ring here, or this little blue bar, has water.
And technically, eventually they'll have sewer. They don't actually run in the same pipe, but they run in the same system.
Yeah, and if you have a cold weather city, you have to include heating, which is not fun. So here's the other choice we have, Eric, because I have the green. You have the eco water outlet, which pollutes less, or we have the inland water treatment.
We're going to use the eco water outlet, even though we have to have a ton of them. Just put them as far away as possible, and we'll just run the wire since we have unlimited money.
It's not unlimited. Trust me, it's not unlimited.
Yeah, I know, but we're getting a much better start than when you start in the vanilla edition.
Yeah, it's because it doesn't make any sense if you.
Here's where I would do a windmill. Like,
yeah, you could
just do a windmill here, because we don't need a ton of power just for all of the little eco pumps that we do.
Yeah, rather than running a.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Make it connected. All right, now we can put in a windmill. but you're going to see that pretty quickly I'm going to need to replace this little windmill.
That's a windy zone though.
Yeah, it is. It's a good windy zone. But this will have to move later because our city's going to expand.
Oh, I'm with you. But I mean, by that point, we'll have better power sources.
Hopefully. All right. You guys ready? Let's see where we're at.
Hey, can you check the water connection? Oh, you turned it on.
Yeah, yeah. The water's connected.
It snapped too? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I did forget to do though? Silly, silly me.
Oops. You could do another one. Oh, it doesn't matter. Power lines are a pain in the butt to, like, you have to remove the individual towers if you want to put something there later.
Not necessarily. Let me show you.
Okay.
You ready? You're going to like this.
The PlayStation version does not do
yeah, this is the PC
that I'm aware
version.
of. If it does, but again, I didn't know you could elevate roads until I was stuck at 80,000 people in a city on the PlayStation. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with my roads? Everything is an intersection.
I have a lot of weird mods, and because I love this game.
Not a mod. This is on the PlayStation, simply using the D-pad to elevate or lower your road and create tunnels.
Yeah. On the PC, it's page up and page down.
I bet. It didn't do me any good. We need more houses.
Okay.
Look at that. We have the green bar.
Where would you like me to put them?
Around the other houses.
Okay.
They can be across the street.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
See, we're back, though. You're going to have to bulldoze them if you're building without building your roads up front.
Yeah.
A little urban planning. But that's...
Thinking ahead. Notice our blue bar went up, too.
It did. So maybe somewhere over near the freeway as a buffer, as it were, between where we're going to end up with our industrial zone, put a few stores.
Right here. So these little squares are called cells, just random. And
everybody can see.
And the thing about these is that it's the average store in their model based off real models is 4x4. Notice that, like, if it's a 3x4 like this, that's a smaller house. 4x4s are what you actually want. 4x4s are the maximum efficiency of these in the game. So I'm surprised. Oh no, Eric.
Oh, what?
It's wanting us to do an industrial zone.
Yeah, it says it is, but you got to wait.
You want to wait?
Well, yeah. Well, here it goes. I mean, it's just barely starting.
Yeah.
And again, we don't have to worry about bank balance the same way that, like.
Well, and our people are really sad because they don't have jobs.
Then let's go over to the other side of the freeway.
So hold on, look. These are happy. You have all this fun information that you can have access to as time goes on, which is really neat. So you can learn all about your people. How educated.
No. It's probably time, and we're going to need some more commercial zoning pretty soon. But maybe we can go over to our other section across the freeway, because wherever you build, you get a cloud of pollution and ground pollution, air pollution and ground pollution over your.
Yep. Industry pollutes.
Wherever you build your industry, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter how eco they make the game. The reality, because I have the eco add-ons, and then I have Industry 4.0 and a few other things, and it doesn't matter. We as human beings create pollution. So what is our responsibility? This is the fun ethics of this game. They still have to feed their families and have jobs, though. So what do you do?
Yep.
How does this work? We still need things.
Well, and in the game, there are mitigation strategies, essentially, by countering pollution with trees.
Yep.
And putting in, where are your roads going to go? You just built it at an intersection.
Yeah. Well, I don't ever foresee roads coming off this way. I mean,
that is such, like, yes, roads go that way. You have all that territory between there and your border.
Oh, Eric, we're gonna have so much fun.
And you know what? There's a freeway over there. And guess what freeways are? Noisy places people don't want to live next to. You know what you can put next to them? Industry and offices.
Offices, yeah, offices, which we get later. Offices are the advanced.
They're just jobs, but they don't provide income to the city.
No, well, they do.
Not at the same rate at all.
12%.
Maybe in your special mods,
No,
like makes offices pay off a lot.
It's the same tax rate as you can set your tax rates once you unlock them. You can set percentages for everybody.
I'm gonna have to look back through the description, because what I understood was it creates jobs, but not commerce. Like, it doesn't create money the same way that commerce does. It's a much different kind of tax base.
No, I make money off my offices.
Okay, we'll look what happens when we get further in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying the way that the PS4 vanilla version does it is it implies that offices have a slightly different function than industrial or commercial.
Interesting. So we have all this industry we're putting in.
Although, and look at how much industry we need. Go down and like show everybody where the bars are.
Yeah, down here.
So it doesn't want any more houses. We have enough houses. We have enough commercial, and it's saying, but you're not doing enough to bring in like good. You're not making enough goods. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, no, that's what it is. Offices may provide jobs and some tax income, but they don't provide goods for the commercial spaces.
Nope. And later, we actually, because of the type of game this is, we'll see how long that we play this together, because it's a lot of fun, because we're still losing money. But later, we actually can unlock the 5 primary industries: forestry, or oil, agriculture,
farming,
and fishing. So we have five.
Fishing is a mod.
Yeah, no, it's an expansion.
Yes. Oh, sorry, an expansion. I don't have. Same difference.
Yeah. So then you actually make things, but at the end of the day, you're still going to need small pockets of this industry, because you still people need clothes, they need shoes, they need hats, they need, socks, they need things. Like, and it's fun. What makes this game fun is you can look at, like, this is a garment factory. Garments, man, they're making a lot of clothes. Just goods. Ready to wear. We make a lot of clothes, Eric, in our little town.
We do.
What's over here? Frank's Fish Stick Factory.
All right, people like fish sticks.
There you go. So this is the fun, and it tells you all this information about everybody. So, like, they're really hiring uneducated peoples, because we don't have any education yet.
No, we don't. That's a whole other thing. And mass transit, and what else is important to.
So many things. So see our bars.
Space.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, now I'm just like throwing stuff out there that you have to do in the game.
They're so much fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's interesting because. So I have a good story. So my husband tried to turn on what's called Industry 4.0, which is less pollution. And so what happened though is that, like, I did it in my city and I did it automatically. I was like, oh, less pollution. Yeah. But what I had been doing up to that point was I had extra education. I had extra high schools and I had extra elementary schools. And as somebody who was once a teacher, that's like something automatically I was like overfilling. So my jump to Industry 4.0 was pretty seamless. Eric, do you want to talk about yours? And I can talk about
when I did it, I knew what was coming. I had planned ahead because I read it and I go, so I don't have enough schools. So I put in like way too many high schools and universities, and I had already had a pretty good elementary system, and I put in lots of libraries and whatnot. And then when I had a huge industrial zone, and all of a sudden my population was highly educated, and they're like, we need better jobs because we're all highly educated. And so I turned on 4.0, and then all of a sudden all of my industry basically went bankrupt. Because there were suddenly that you don't need the same number of workers, and so it's difficult to transition from different types of economies to new types of economies. And wow, that's something we're living through right now with the transition to the green economy.
It's fascinating when you consider it, the idea that people and then that they have to get re-educated or they have to start over, and then there's an unhappiness window in your pop, like literally this little happy face down here becomes a sad face for a while for him, as they were being forced to get educated or being forced, or what they felt, that's the assumption that their unhappiness is somehow, I don't know, being forced upon them. So we make all this housing, Eric?
Where are we at? Yeah.
Bam.
You're gonna, and I think you might be out of water, like, or it's gonna be right on the cusp.
That's good. We'll see. Oh no, we're still good so
Still
far.
covered.
So far, but we need pipes. So good call on that. Check.
I pre-build it all.
So does Ian. I'm terrible. My husband does. He pre-builds everything. I'm like, hey, we'll go along.
And we're probably gonna have to do the same thing in our industrial park over there at some point.
Oh yeah, I didn't even check to see if we had water. We're still losing money, and notice how quickly that money goes.
Oh no! But it's dropped. It used to be over 1,000, and now I can't really read it but it looks like it's less than. It's around 500.
815. 800.
Okay, but it's less than 1,000, and we were definitely over 1,000 a little while ago.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're good on water over here.
Good.
So I don't know. I find this to be fascinating because the other thing about this game is that the people who developed it originally incorporated a lot of work from actual city planners. So you can get, it's very apropos because you can get disasters and you can have natural disasters, including a pandemic. Although my understanding is they took the pandemic mode down for right now. But you can have they basically took all the crisis and emergency scenarios from real life experiences and they plugged them into the game. Yep. The same thing with traffic. You have a certain percentage of lawbreakers who won't follow your traffic stuff, who won't follow traffic laws. They may speed, they may not speed. Crime rate percentages, depending on what kind of industry you have, were incorporated. Certain industries apparently attract more crime than other industries. And the game developers took that into account. So there's a lot of fun to be had with, like, this is as realistic as they can make a simulated game.
The traffic modeling is far more, I think, detailed than SimCity ever got to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you look, so what is our efficiency rate right now? We're at 83%.
That's because we don't have anyone living in our city.
Not yet. Well, and, oh, yay!
Oh, we're a hamlet.
We're Hamlet. Look, we got a community school, which is an elementary school, another kind of elementary school. We have a medical clinic.
Oh, that's a mod.
Yeah, or expansion. Yeah. We have a recycling center. What?
We can have trash. Oh, I see. Recycling center is another
type of trash. Yeah. So what the recycling center is it's light. You need both a landfill and a recycling center because
you don't fill your landfill as quickly.
And the thing about the recycling center is that it actually puts small amounts of money back into your pocket because things like aluminum and metals and that kind of stuff. So
does it actually recycle things or does it ship it all across the ocean?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
They're
getting better though. No, there's a lot of ads now on TV that talk about actually being able to recycle their plastic products, like plastic bottles. Whereas before they're only pseudo recyclable. Mm-hmm. Now they're more directly recyclable, although they have to go to special plants to do that, but it's a little bit different than it used to be.
So also with this, our taxes were unlocked. Let me tell
11%.
Yep. Here's the sweet spot. And they say that this is the actual sweet spot from around the world is you can do 11 or 12%. And that is the max you can do.
I've heard 10 or 11 in the game, but you take it to wherever you want to go. I'm just an observer today.
Whatever. Should we go to 11?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll just go across the board to 11. And the idea being that we're now in a relationship with the people and businesses who live and work in our city. But I want to point out that this works in a sim game. It doesn't work in the real world. Flat taxes are regressive. You can't. Okay, so let's go. While I keep building, why don't you go into that? Because I'd love to hear more on that. I don't. Part of it is, I mean, it basically comes down to when you charge someone who has taxes, when you have a tax rate that's that at, let's say we'll round it to 10%. Okay. The effective tax rate for people, like you end up, it has a far greater effect on people. And I'm not a tax expert by any means. And so commentators, please comment below and tell me where I'm wrong. And if you're here commenting about it, it means people are watching this video. So tell me I'm wrong all day long.
The ethical reason, I'm not going to speak to the economic reason because I would want to go and research it a little more before I comment, but would be that if you earn $100 and you get taxed at 10%, that $10 makes a huge difference to you because all you're left with afterwards is $90. If you're taxed at a flat rate and you earn $100,000, not $100, well, let's go to 1,000. Let's not make such a big gap. At 1,000, you're taxed and you lose $100 of income as tax, and you left over with 900, which is a lot more money than $90.
And there's something to be said for that. The way the game tries to cover it while they're filling in here, while they're building, is the game gives us these, which are the high density zones. And the high density zones are, I think of them as apartments and urban kind of looking things.
Skyscrapers.
Yes. And ironically, the game suggests that you tax them at a higher rate because they're supposed to be the more luxurious, which is kind of in a certain way, the opposite of how it is in the real world. Because if you live in a crummy apartment in New York, you're paying more.
Yes.
Than a suburbia sprawling low density, McMansion. But, that's a whole other conversation. This is the game's Band-Aid to what Eric was talking about, though, I think.
Yeah, although, but the goal of what the game pushes you towards is driving up property values for everyone across the board, from low density housing to high density housing. And I haven't figured out yet in the game what the purpose of low density housing is. There doesn't seem to be any happiness associated with it. The best thing in the game you can do is pack people into the tallest buildings you can possibly build.
Yep. In the game, the high density is your luxury or your educated status. For example, you have your industry, and the high density version of industry is an office job. So you went to college and you're not theoretically, which is why I use 4.0, because that's more realistic. 4.0 is the idea that you've left 1950s industry and you have to be educated to work in an industrial something. And with that comes benefits and drawbacks. But in the game, they keep it simple, and offices are the high density version of industrial. And I don't know. I mean, that's the gameplay versus real life, because I think a lot of office workers are underpaid.
We're gonna get in so much trouble commenting on all of this.
You think so? Who's gonna get?
I'm not an economist.
Oh, well, all right, here we go. It's yelling at us, Eric.
What's it? Oh, we need trash. Okay, so trash is also polluting. Having a landfill next to your house is not fun. Where should we put it? Let's maximize the pollution in an area far away from where people live.
So don't
put it there. You're gonna block the road.
I am recommending. How about this? I'm recommending we do a recycling plant and a landfill.
Absolutely. Just don't block the road. You're freaking me out, man.
You hear Eric? It's funny. So the landfill is bigger. Let's go 4 in. There we go. Gives us plenty of room to expand. But look at this. Look at this pollution ring. That purple is pollution. Purple in the game is pollution. It's the best we can do. We're gonna have to place it, but it's ridiculous. So look at this trash. We're already trashy, Eric.
Yeah. But later in the game, you can build incinerators.
Yeah.
So you trade ground pollution
For
and
pollution.
a landfill that fills up and then can accept no more trash for the air pollution. And you can actually destroy landfills by transferring all your trash to your incinerator station and then destroying the landfill.
And you can turn on policies later, which we don't have the ability to, that puts on extra filters. But
I've never seen those before.
Yeah, they're policies. This is where policies, that'll be later in the game. Eric and I are going to play this for a while with you guys. By the way, we're making money, which is good, off our taxes. Not a lot.
I thought you meant on the channel, and I was like, what?
No. We do this for fun. But I would love to hear suggestions for street names. I think the funniest street names or area names, because we can name districts. So this is one of the things I'm going to do. Oh, it won't let me yet. But when we get districts, I'm going to paint this area as the ugly district. No, I'm just kidding.
The original area you wanted, so that cross street, go up there and look at it.
Oh, you mean the Eric Road?
No, no. Yeah, you already changed one.
I did.
Oh, wait, look at that. Oh, it's still Ward Street there. It has to go back. It's Julia Ward Howe Boulevard.
Oh, okay, hold on. Julia. And how do you, what was the last?
Ward, Howe, Howe.
Hold on, let me fix this. We're going to name things and refer to them by their funny names.
She was friends with Margaret Fuller. I did not know that.
You didn't know that? We're going to change Eric Boulevard to hers too.
Yes, please.
There we go. That's cool. That's a fun entry road. Okay, let's see. So what should we build next, Eric? What should we give them? More what?
Well, where are we at? What's our grid look like? Oh, so we need to fill it. We can fill in our industrial park because we know that it's going to keep asking for more. We can fill in more of the yellow zoning.
Okay, so we'll give them more industry.
Because we got that nice space in there to just. And eventually, though, we are going to need to go in and backfill in some fire departments and police stations.
Yeah. Oh, so look, not enough workers. And that matches.
Oh, now let's go and start building all the other stuff back in our suburbs there.
Yep. So we need more housing because it doesn't have enough workers yet. Welcome to the game. Dun, dun, dun. And I have a funny story. I once built a city because you can turn on unlimited money, right? And I once built a city with unlimited money. Mm-hmm. This was not that long ago. And I built the city with unlimited money. And then I turned off unlimited money because I was doing something else. And I was randomly loading. And I randomly loaded the city. And I was $300 million in the hole from building random fun stuff just for fun.
That's a lot of money.
But my city was making so much money that it paid off the debt. I left the game running overnight, which you're not supposed to do, and I wouldn't recommend. But I left the game running overnight. And the hilarity of it is it paid off its own debt.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff you can say about that. Like, there you go. In a second, if I predict it right, we're gonna get yelled at that somebody's sick because that's what the game does. It's trying to.
Well, because now we can buy. Well, why don't we just? So do we want to? Or do you want to show people that people get sick? Because I think we all know that, especially right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Or should we just build what we know they need?
I think that's part of having taxes is that our responsibility to them. So here we have only the medical clinic, which this will be one of the few.
Build a medical clinic.
It's small, right? So it's a small town medical clinic.
But what that's going to do is that's going to put us back close to negative money because it's going to be $400 a week.
Well, and we're not, you don't want to make money, right? So look, here's the other thing about this. See the road turns green? That is the area of effect of the medical clinic. So this medical clinic can only impact the green areas. Theoretically, it can go beyond the green areas if we have extras, but it doesn't spread very far. So we're going to go ahead and place this. Ready? Bang. Yay! We have healthcare.
You're all happy. Hey, what are some of our other street names now that we've renamed our first street name after? We'll try to do it based on what they're actually called in the game.
Okay. Well, this is another Ward Street.
Further, because none of us can actually read.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, it's still Ward Street.
No, this is after the turn. Instead of Julia Ward, it turns into just Ward. But before we do that, I have an obligation to help my people. So while these are Europeans traffic signs, stop signs take too long. And our people are smart enough to yield. So we're going to set our traffic. That'll help with our traffic later, I promise. So although they're European, this means go, for those of you who've never been in Europe. And
we're a village.
We're a worthy village.
Oh, we can take out more loans. We could expand if we needed to, which we don't need to do yet.
Nope.
Districts. We don't need districts quite yet, I don't think.
No.
Specializations. We could start, though. We could do some farming and have it be closer to where people live.
We don't have any
forest. Have to commute.
This particular map doesn't start with forestry or agriculture, so we have to wait. but we can start looking at policies.
We could.
And we have the fire department and the police department.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a fun discussion. So, and then we have these things called unique buildings, which we're not there yet, but we can have a ChirpX.
Yeah, we don't need to build a.
We don't need those yet. That's later when we have lots of money. But we just unlocked policies. Let me, while it's running and our people are still growing, look, we can teach them about energy conservation, but it costs us money. And we can teach them about water usage.
And in the PC version, it costs per like zoned district.
Yeah, ours
Like
costs
like
per
5 cents per building or whatever it is.
Yep, ours is per building too. This is the smoke detectors. And I like to turn them on, but we're not making enough money to do that. So this is that question again. So morally,
well, go ahead.
do we, because we, like, this is the balance. Do we turn something like that on? Because we're going to have to place a fire department, a police department soon. And do we turn on an elementary school? Because we have one. Do our people deserve to send their kids to elementary school? These are the moral questions we face with this game.
Ethical questions. They're not actually moral questions.
I don't know. I have a quandary on it. So that's the question. What do you?
All right. Well, we'll argue about that a bunch too, then, I guess.
Well, what do you want to place? That's the question. Like, we're making money, and that
No, I'm saying I want to place them for ethical reasons, not like for like. That's
okay,
a big. I'm talking about a philosophical discussion of morals versus ethics. Sorry.
What do you want to? What? Okay, so then let's do that.
Doesn't matter. It's now we're talking semantics. I build everything as early as possible because otherwise you have to backfill, like you have to find locations for things as opposed to planning ahead and saying this area is going to need, what we already have is going to need 2 elementary schools, one at the north end and one at the south end.
So this is, yeah. So this
See
is
how little distance it actually goes, especially with your big giant loops, because you don't have cross streets anywhere.
Oh, I instinctively build to save traffic problems later.
Hi, James. The pro's here.
Oh, our gaming pro is here. James, is he there?
I can't hear you. I've got
headphones.
Okay. But he walked away. He doesn't actually want to be on camera today.
Oh, okay. So look, we're going to place one.
And then we're going to need one. Is that a high school or an elementary school?
This is a community school, which is an alternative elementary school. It's a charter school.
Oh, boy.
Oh, do you want a traditional elementary school?
Well, I don't know. What's the difference in terms of how well it educates? Hi, James.
This is $240. It costs us $240 a week.
Wait, hang on a second. I'm going to go on mute for a second. Okay. So what's the difference?
The community school theoretically educates better, and it has a slightly farther spread than a traditional elementary.
And what's the difference? Why do they even like to try to get us to buy the expansion?
No, it's so that the kids who go to this community school actually come out a little bit more quote unquote educated.
If I had a guess, I'd say it has a larger physical footprint as well.
I don't actually know. Here's the regular one, which
is a totally different size. Okay.
Yeah.
So you did say that road building was a thing for you.
It is a thing for me.
Oh my, I'm getting like anxious.
Well, no, I will tell you this from a city planning perspective, from an Erien city planning perspective, you see this neighborhood, Eric, it will be self-contained. It will be a self-contained. So I'm never going to go to the left. Like that's communities.
So here's how I would approach it, because at the end of the day, land is on some level free in this game, long-term for now, right?
I have 81
tiles. I would go with what I would do in this case is put a community school where you were going to put a school up top, and I'm looking past my camera because I have it in the center of my monitor.
Okay.
Yeah, I would put one. Well, I would probably move it over. You're already blocking intersections, so just keep one intersection fully free and block the other one.
Well, this is where you decide this is a self-contained neighborhood.
Okay, I don't play that way. So you do it this. Okay, let's do it this way. And someday I'll stream a game and I'll be like, yeah, that's not how I build things. Thanks. Okay, and then I would put one at the other end, like a catty corner to it.
Oh,
Nope.
you mean down here?
Yeah,
Like,
and I guess it does. Oh, no, I guess it doesn't matter because the people at the end of the loop are underserved either way. See, look, go up above that.
Yep.
Like they're not served because there's no connection to your self-contained neighborhood.
Yeah. I could build a road there. The problem is I'll have to put in roundabouts because the traffic's gonna stink.
Good. I think it's time to put in roundabouts. We have plenty of money. I'm with you.
Okay.
I don't think it matters. I think that we need to put in roundabouts because now our self-contained neighborhoods, as it grows, will start to have problems with traffic exiting the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, that's where you have one ways. There's a lot of ways. This is one of the fun things. Uh-oh. We don't have any. Oh, we have a criminal. I told you. The game always provides. As soon as something unlocks, it reminds you, let's have a conversation.
I don't know what to say other than, oh my God.
Come on, Eric. You got to say something.
The game has not yet built in any functionality about deciding how policing occurs.
Yep, it does not.
It does not. And that would be a mod that somebody should build.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not actually a programmer of software, just databases. But
so I'm going to place it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm also going to go ahead and just place a fire department because you see the red means that these are all at risk of burning down.
Yeah. And so the other side of the city is going to need this as well.
Yep. I don't know if they're going to need that's the question is, do you care for your businesses or your people first? Oh, wow. Look, a building's on fire.
Time for a fire department.
I'm going to place the fire department, but because it already started before I placed it, it's relying on the one I placed just a second ago to send fire trucks. The game is designed so that you can't instantly fix, because theoretically it takes time for something to build or something to, so.
I don't know. In the basic version, it does a pretty good job of, a bunch of fire engines will leave the building.
So
is it on fire now?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not, that's the building that's on fire, not the, oh, there they are. They're putting out the fire.
Yeah, look, our little firefighter, woo woo, doing his job. So they came from my other fire department. So even though the road wasn't green, they cover this area too because they have such a high level of coverage, which is nice. I'll say this about the whole, like, how do they deal, like, the policing issue in the game? I mean, it's a very utopic version of what it means to be a city planner. Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't build inequities into the game the same way that our society has them. And whatever you build into a simulation, that's what you have. And that's why there's mods and expansions. And maybe somebody needs to build a mod that allows you to change the way that policing happens, a la defund the police or reimagining the police.
Mm-hmm. I genuinely, it's one of those things where it's gameplay versus theology play. So here's some new policies that I want to refer to on this same line. Look at all the things we can police. Like, this is very.
By police, you mean
a policy, set policies for.
Yeah, that was not the right word to use after that conversation.
It's because my brain was on policing. So policing as in controlling things.
Yeah, but that didn't help.
Well, that's because I worry when we talk about a police state. That's the thing.
Well, no, but
yes.
The whole here's the funny thing about this game. With the terrain management, you can build holes. And you could do it when you're talking about the game.
I love this game, but there's some realities that we should be talking about.
I'm saying we can, but I would just say, like, talking about parks and recreation, you don't have to call them policing.
Well, no. When you talk about, like, you can't smoke, you can put across the city, there's no smoking in our whole city.
And that's a policy. But we're talking about the fact that a mod needs to be made that creates adjustable policing.
There's a lot of mods that need to be made around some of them.
Okay, but let's just, from a terminology standpoint, otherwise we get bogged down, and every time you say policing, I go, what in the world did she just say?
He's so funny.
At least we're not live today.
Oh, I don't care.
I'm not.
Because I think that when you play this game, part of playing this game is that you control things in a very it's a very controlling game. That's the point. And this is the conversation. What does it mean to be in absolute control? Because you're sanitizing it. That's the thing. You're running a simulation.
Yeah.
Realistic as it can be or not be.
Well, it's however well it's programmed is.
Yeah, I had to install traffic breakers. Like when you upgrade your traffic management tool to this thing is when you get people who don't always follow your turn signal rules and don't always follow, because before they all did, and that's not realistic.
Yes, the sensible knaves, and the game actually does have sensible knavery built into it.
It does for certain choices. So we need some commercial, Eric, and I wonder how you might feel about having low density commercial along this route.
That is where I typically put it, because it feeds the local need for commercial. But I also build giant blocks of it at times to create skyscraper zones, because I've never figured out if mixed use actually works particularly well in this game.
Yeah, there's no one way or another. The low density commercial is nice because it can be next to your housing. The high density is deemed as too loud. And I guess that makes sense when you think about like a
More
mall
traffic.
or
you get more traffic on the street then.
Yeah,
maybe the buildings themselves.
Yeah, because you can't put them next to housing. They won't let you. The people will go, oh, it's loud. And then
they'll let you build it, and then they're unhappy.
And they move out and they complain all the time. So
then you build high density housing and they complain less.
Well, yes, but they still complain. So you just don't build it next. You always put I always put an office buffer between them.
It's a different situation once you have high density, because the entire city gets noisier, and that's your biggest complaint, is how noisy it is.
And then you plant trees like you would in real life to help mitigate that.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't make it perfect, but it makes it better for people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is one of those fun, not so fun things about this game, is like you're dealing with some real issues, as we just got into talking about the police, the idyllic police of the game, right? And the very binary, these are criminals because they wear the black masks. There's no gray area to crime. It's fascinating. Are they actually so what you're dealing with in the game is this symbology of like, these are bad, these are criminals, as we would all agree we wouldn't necessarily want living next to us. So then you're like, well,
you're forced into that scenario.
Yeah. So you're like, well, what does that mean? The other nice thing about the green mod green expansion is that I can decriminalize drug use in policies. That comes later. So you can
do some of that in the vanilla version as well.
Can you? Okay.
You can change. I think that there is a policy there are several policies that affect things like that, but I don't know if they're that specific, but
you can decriminalize recreational use at 20 once we have 2,400 people, which I almost always do it. Because I don't care.
Well, no, because it helps with overall happiness.
It does.
The goal of the game, essentially, at the end of the day, is to keep everybody happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. And the happier everybody is, not that we need to start talking about Fourth Manifesto humanism, is to have them be happy through just organic means, meaning the way that you manage the city.
Yeah. Yeah. The city is missing churches. One of the things that does frustrate me is I was like, there's no churches anywhere. You can't ever build a church. And that doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever.
Because if you were building it, you would need to put in every kind of church, which doesn't seem like a huge programming issue. And maybe there's another mod that needs to happen.
Oh, hold on. I see a traffic issue. So you see these people are backed up? That's because this is a traffic light. Traffic lights in this game are not your friend.
So what are you putting in there?
I'm putting in a yield sign.
Oh my God.
Hey, this is the thing. It works.
Look at how bad the traffic jam is right now. There's people in the middle of the intersection.
You have to wait for it to filter out.
Okay.
So you have to like give it a chance to catch up.
All those people who thought it was a traffic light are now confused is really.
Yeah. You have to wait for the like system to get through this.
So basically we're depending on the beneficence of each of the members of society to actually get through that without crashing into people.
Exactly. And I think we're ready for an upgrade where I actually make this into the roundabout entry.
I believe we are, because once it starts backing up, although it cleared up very quickly, but the problem is you get more jobs, you get more commerce from out of town.
Yeah, we lost a percentage and it's telling us that's a bad intersection for.
It is a bad intersection, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna build a roundabout, our first major roundabout, which is where we'll also be able to connect our industry area to the roundabout. And our exit.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. So this is what you have to pick. I think you have to pick your core roads. I know that there are people who have slightly different city. I'm going to pause it to do this because I'm going to tear up these roads a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to upset our people.
No,
right?
Please explain your theory of roads.
Okay, so my theory of roads comes from comes from my understanding of the game, and that is I've played this game a lot. So in playing this particular game, I learned that you have to select your entry and exit roads from any neighborhood, any block of neighborhood. If you look at online at the people who are successful, you find that. Well, then what I did is I went and looked at like Chicago, which actually, if you get away from their interstates, has some really good traffic ratings, unlike Atlanta, which has like horrible traffic. But if you look at cities in America or across the world that are traffic successful based on everybody having a car, and we haven't even talked about public transit yet, but based on most people having a car, you'll find that cities are built in blocks of section, whether they're curved or whether they're square, it doesn't really matter, but that they have controlled entry and exit from any of these large blocks of living. I mean, look at any suburb or look at any inner city and they're sectioned off. So when you build a section, even in this game, you should probably pick one or two entries and exits, and that's it. And roundabouts watch the Mythbusters episode on a regular stop sign versus roundabouts, but roundabouts are the way for that to work really well. One of the ways. What does that mean though? That you're technically being controlled, like you're being funneled as a human being as you go about your daily life? I don't know. That's very deep. Eric, thoughts while I build?
That is too deep a thought for this playthrough because we're members of society. Like societies work via a given set of constraints. And one constraint is we travel in cars on roads. Mm-hmm. And so the idea that we're being funneled, well, yes, and roads can only go certain places because there are buildings in the way and creeks and rivers in the way and open space that we don't want to get rid of. And people who live in neighborhoods, whatever kind of neighborhood it is, if you have every car in the city driving through it, then it's a busy thoroughfare and you're going to have more issues with traffic, and that is a round street. So it's
sorry, I'm making a roundabout.
Living, you don't just do the pre-populated roundabouts, you build your own?
I can build my own.
Okay.
Oh, well, I hate it. I just screwed up. Hold on, I've messed up. So one of the things about this game that is frustrating when it comes to roundabouts is that the game attempts to help you. So what it does,
that is
hold on, I have to fix it. So what happens is when you place a roundabout is that you have to place support roads, or it tends to try to flex the roads to try to help you. So when you do that, it actually backfires and you're like, thanks game. I know you're smart and all, but can you not help me quite so much? That kind of a thing. So you gotta put in these little tiny like support roads to keep it from getting
and then you can delete those later.
Yes. So you got to kind of to keep it in shape.
Okay.
That's
I'm
just a
curious.
game.
I didn't know that. I will use that in my own playthroughs.
Why does it always got to do? See, the game is trying to help me, and it's irritating me. So we're gonna.
You always got to build in smaller chunks. That's, I think, what works is the small build in a small chunk. There you go, and then just connect it to wherever. Yeah.
So.
Now we have a roundabout that goes nowhere.
Calm down. Calm down. We don't want to come out there. We want to come out here. I make noises as I build, so you can all make fun of my noises. So what this enables us to do, and we can upgrade these roads later as we get better roads.
What do we have in the 3? Oh, we're in 3-lane roads.
No, we're in 2-lane roads. We don't have 3 lanes.
That's 2-lane. Okay.
Yeah, 2x2. But look, we now have a little roundabout, and I'm going to get rid of this. And what I'm going to do is then build, what I'm waiting for is this road right here to unlock.
Is that the 6-lane?
No, it's a highway. What's called a highway.
Oh, the highway off ramp. Yeah.
Which would enable me to like let people get off and on from up here.
Without it being an intersection.
Mm-hmm. So I might leave these for now simply because it's like, this is.
We don't have that much traffic yet.
Yeah. And this is one of those choices where you're like, well, I don't want people to have to like go all the way through another neighborhood just to get through.
No, but to go back later, if we built more houses in commercial and industrial and build this roundabout is not going to be fun. So it's better to do it now.
So let me show you something else. Bam. So what I just did there is I set all the yields and all the, hold on, let me go to this. What I just did here is I set all of the yields and all of the goes. So people in the roundabout know that they need to continue through, they need to yield. There's no crosswalks. You can't walk across the roundabout. And I did all that through this traffic manager mod. So this is the best way to handle it. We're going to.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah. I don't know do they have it on the PlayStation?
Maybe, but I haven't downloaded it. And to download it, to get every mod and expansion on the PlayStation is $100.
Oh my. So here we go. Look, our ambulance.
Oh, our first cars are going through. Very nice.
Yeah. So you're going to see that they get to choose which lane. Oh,
why don't we have mass transit yet?
It hasn't unlocked. Really? Yeah. See the bus down
here? Yeah. We got to get to 2,400 or whatever.
Yeah. It hasn't unlocked yet. We're there, but.
So why don't we, what would happen? So we need to build some more houses, commercial and industrial, because we're at a little bit of a backlog. What if then we speed up the game to triple speed?
I already had it on triple for a while.
Oh.
Off and on.
Where are we at? But we have 1,500. We're not growing very, we got to do some more people.
Yeah. So, but you notice how when I put in the roundabout, it redirected enough traffic where that is no longer red.
But you had already modified that to be a yield intersection anyways. So we didn't check. So it's possible. So that one up there that's slightly red, if you make that a yield.
It'll stop probably being red. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's still burnt from when it was on fire a little while ago.
Well, and so the other thing is the land around it, as it gets polluted, turns
dead.
All the grass dies and trees and stuff.
Yeah. So let's just say that like I appreciate that. I make everything yield. Oh, look, it wants us to buy more land. We're not there yet, game. Calm down.
Yeah, but it asks you over and over and over until you I never buy land until I basically have maxed out the area that I'm on.
I don't do that. Because I build buffers between my neighborhoods. I do. And then I usually paint trees. So I usually paint trees between them. Okay. So like that.
Yeah. We do need to figure out a way to expand though and build more of every, like we're
what do you want to do? You tell me, Eric. I've made a lot of decisions.
Yeah, but I don't have any control over it. I just start building and I build on more of a grid system and so on and so forth. I usually have pre-planned zones where as it goes, I just start plopping in zoning.
So this is part of the conversation and a fun one. And that is that the game, four-way stops, will always give you traffic jams. There's no way to make an efficient four-way stop. So when I tend to build, which that makes me wonder what in real life, like, is that real?
Well, but cities are starting to get rid of four-way stops and even stoplights and put in America, at least, roundabouts, which are common in Europe.
Yeah.
Because it's a more efficient way of moving traffic.
And there's a lot of commentary about things like, so like, you notice I moved my street down. If I put this street right here, there's no way to fix the traffic. So if you just move it a few cells this way and give a buffer, it actually is, the traffic is more efficient.
Okay.
So, but the question becomes, is that realistic? Like, what do you think that offers to our Sims from a lifestyle standpoint?
Well, it reduces the number of jobs.
You think so?
Because there's empty space in between the industrial zones.
Huh.
Well, because anywhere you don't have zoning is unused land, and it drives down your average values, which is the whole point of the game. And it's not generating goods. And it's not that putting trees in the middle of it isn't worthwhile, but for the purposes of the game, it's inefficient. But not everything is about efficiency in the real world. There's other things that are more important than that.
Okay.
So and in the game too, like planting trees to reduce noise. You can't have trees and have a building on top of a tree, or vice versa.
So do you think we should go this way with our industrial zone, or try to go up this horrible mountain?
This is a weird map. This is not an easy, like, beginner map where you just have a ton of flat land to build on.
Oh,
I think it's 6 of one or half a dozen of the other.
Okay. So here's the other thing. If we go this way, we can reconnect with this road.
Absolutely. I would probably go that way. Okay.
So that's what we'll just put this road in just to have it in here.
Absolutely. And it's not going to be, like, because of that ridge, unless we want to do a lot of terraforming, it's not going to be the most efficient layout, but that's not the point. The point is to get our population over 2,400 so we can have mass transit.
Eric's like, I want buses. Buses.
I have never built a good train system. That's kind of my goal, is to.
Oh yeah, the trains. Here's the other thing. So this particular map, and they call it the grid map. When you go out, we won't get trains until we go that way. We have to go 2 squares north.
I'm talking even metro trains.
Oh, a metro. Oh,
like doing mass transit with metros. Yeah.
Oh man, metros. I sucked at them. My husband's excellent at them, and he always makes fun of me when I try to build them. He absolutely hates grid building. So here's another thing. This is a main road, right? This is a main vein.
Yeah.
We don't want to keep building off this main vein. So you got to kind of, like, this is again, thinking about how real cities work. This is one of those areas where we can.
Oh, so we need neighborhoods. We need industrial parks, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It really is. Like, we can
go. No, do your thing. I don't build this way, so this is different for me.
Oh, I build this way because the game has taught me to build this way. Well,
I kind of do, but yeah, okay, I do something similar to this.
Yeah, it's controlling the traffic flow. Let me fix our yields. And as soon as the other thing about it that's really going to make people mad is I hate how little this road is, because industrial roads should be 3x3.
Yeah, but we don't have that yet. So later we'll go back and we'll just sacrifice the front square of each industrial thing, and we'll have to revisit.
Yeah. So this is
industrial doesn't seem as sensitive to the grid system, though.
No, it's not as sensitive. And when you're building high density, you really don't want to use these roads. Like, you don't want to use this tiny road. You want the 6-lane roads.
We're probably fine until it gets really, like, there's a lot of industrial traffic. We'll be fine for a while with this.
Yeah.
But eventually we'll end up, although I've never used the yield function before. Yeah. So it may be different, but I get long lines of trucks trying to get out of industrial zones once I get that far in the game. And
then you have to build, that's where I was saying the off ramps and on ramps become your friend, which is like an interesting thing to talk about when you consider that they don't actually use them in real life. Oh, there we go. They don't use them in real life. The way that on ramps and off ramps for advanced users of this game are used is not normal in regular streets. There's a lot of interesting, like if you go online, if you guys are interested,
No, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
you go online and you can find a veritable, interesting, large, like just a large number of ways to build intersections that are very efficient, and you would never see anything like it in the real world. And you're like, why?
I have one that I'm going to try.
Oh, I can't wait. Because the other thing is once Erik gets this, if I can convince Erik to get this on Steam, one of the things we can do is he can run the city. Because I can upload the city to Steam. You guys can play our city. What's one of the advanced features if people actually watch this is that I'll upload the city for them to play. And they can download it from the workshop on Steam, and they can build
and try it out.
Yeah, they can build the city that they can take the UU Townsville, and they can build it any way they want and send us pictures or send us videos of them playing it.
How's our city do? We're not growing that quick. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? We got to go back. We got to build more houses.
Oh yeah, because we don't have any peoples. All right, so
all right, I'm gonna let you build. No, I'm gonna let you do whatever you want to do. I'm gonna take a bio break.
Okay, let me get this built. Yeah, I love this game. It's so much fun for me, but I'm also very aware. Oh, 6-lane road. I should tell Erik when he comes back. It's also got me thinking, like I did several things where my husband and I just did things so differently that it got me really thinking about how unconscious bias is alive. Like how we do things in the world, particularly among people who play video games. And we don't think anything of what we're doing. We just do it. But if it's really living into who you are, you're making decisions based on your values. So what does that look like in the world? What does it look like when you make choices based on what you believe or don't believe about things? Oh, we're going to need water.
Oh, sweet. I like the little staggered city setup there. I often do a straight thing of it's like a straight street that goes along.
Yeah. I've done that.
Well, so what I like to do to improve. Yes, James.
Can you mute?
I can mute. Please continue.
I hope you guys enjoy this game, but like if you actually are enjoying it, I hope you give us comments. I hope you give us suggestions for street names or district names. And we just got districts, so I'm going to name a district here in a second. We'll have to ask Erik what he wants to name a district. That's too close, I think. But yeah, trying to do this without my clicks on is sometimes hard because it gives you helpful suggestions, and sometimes those helpful suggestions are actually not very helpful.
All right, back.
Yeah, again, the game has taught me. So here's a game bias. The game has taught me to avoid 4 ways.
Okay. What I was going to say was what I use the shoreline for is to build marinas, restaurant piers, and all that stuff that increases happiness because all you need is a single little tiny road that goes to it.
Yeah.
And this way, it actually gives you, if you, the pro's back.
Oh, okay. Our gaming pro is a avid fan of video games who gives us commentary all the time on anything we do and tells us whether they find what we're doing interesting or not. So I'm going to take a chapter out of Erik's book and actually give them water before we ever zone it. So, oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh boy.
What?
You wanted me to meow at him.
Oh, okay. Oh no, Houston, we're low on electricity. We have a more.
Okay, so do we? Oh, we don't have anything else. We got to get to that 2400 because that'll upgrade us so we can get rid of coal and go to oil, which is not
No,
that
it's
much of a better
5,000.
choice,
It's 5,000.
but it gives what?
This is
Oh,
here. Let me pause it so we don't have people move out because they're out of power. But
you're all
we
done?
might need to put in another coal plant. We have to accept the pollution
For the short term, but we
Yep,
have to pay the financial cost. What we'll end up doing is, as the city grows and we want to reduce pollution, is we're just going to destroy them. And by that time, hopefully we won't be worried about cost anymore, because we'll be making $10,000 a week.
which I think we are inherently obligated to pay to improve the city for the people who live there.
Well, it also makes sense because as the city increases and you have higher density housing in the same size city, you need more electricity, right? And that's part of the issue that we face as human beings today is limited resources. And one of those is, how do we generate electricity?
Yep. This is all very real in a lot of ways. We're going to speed this up, but it keeps
So
telling
how are we
us.
doing? Oh, we need more commercial.
Yep, and we need more commercial. The thing with commercial, let me talk about this, and this is very real in real life too. You can build in giant swaths of commercial, but then they don't get supplied with goods. Because remember, the logistics of the game also apply. So the game is going to yell at you and say things like, not enough goods, not enough goods. That's why that traffic, you notice Eric and I keep referring to that traffic percentage, because once that traffic percentage drops below 78, suddenly you're going to get these warnings from your commercial zones that their stuff's not making it on time.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
It is really difficult in the PS4 version without mods to avoid that. It is almost we're going to need a cross street there pretty soon. I know you do not like cross streets, but we need to get back. We need to create a new neighborhood back in there.
Why?
What's all that space for?
It's buffer. Like, we don't need no.
But that's what the commercial's for. Commercial is a reasonable buffer between what?
You're so funny. So look.
We got it?
Mm-hmm.
How did we get it?
It just unlocked. We probably had it
at 2,000. No, actually at 2,000 probably.
Probably. So look,
I didn't.
I'm going to put this in. This is as close as I'm willing to go, because this intersection to my right is going to need to be upgraded at some point.
Yeah.
And it's going to take up more space.
Okay. I'm cool.
Oh man, I got to make these yields. Hold on.
Yeah, you do.
Traffic becomes an entire thing. There will probably be off-air episodes of Eric and I complaining about traffic where I fix things. And then I'll just be like, I fixed it. Because you can spend days, and I'm not joking, you can spend days chasing traffic in this game.
I have spent in a very large city I built a reasonable period of time just upgrading roads, doing nothing different.
Yep. Welcome to chasing traffic. So this is, Eric, one of the solutions to...
Yeah. I like that. You're not going to punch that through?
No.
Okay.
Again, there's this idea that you want to manage your traffic. You want to you want to manage it. You want to balance it, because your people deserve the best possible whatever.
So don't build too much commercial, because we're back to needing residential. And
a little bit of industrial. So here's how about we fill this in like this. Right there.
What for what? Industrial?
Yeah. And then come back as we need to expand it.
Yeah, we got to get our we have to get our housing bar back up, and so we can quickly expand. We're almost there though. We're almost to 2,400. That'll unlock some new stuff. Yeah.
Again. Oh no. Sewage. What? In a second, I'm gonna have to fix the sewage.
Oh yeah. We might as well do it now.
Okay. So yeah, welcome to the game. You're constantly chasing things. You're constantly, my husband had played it very differently than I did. And when I attempted to explain to him, he kind of was like, really? I was like, no, we have like a moral reciprocity obligation to make their lives the best we can make them. And he was like, uh-huh. And then I think he thought he was going to, let's be real for a second, because he's not going to watch this. I think he thought he was going to kick my butt at the game as far as having more population or whatever. And in the end, I ended up beating him. Anytime we've done a parallel build, although he's way better at traffic management than I am, like hands down, he's always like, gosh, oh,
We did it.
So now we can put in buses and ore, which we are an ore. This opening map that we are on is an ore map. And that's going to be a fun conversation about what it means to use resources. So let's just add this and see where that gets us while I get ready to build our buses. So
nice. I am looking forward to that, although I'm not staring at the screen right this second.
That's okay. So this is a bus depot, or we can do biofuel bus depot. This one costs $720. This one's $960. The only difference is that you get biofuel buses.
How much is the other one? And what's the cost per week? I didn't see.
30,000.
We're doing biofuels. So
okay.
85.
I'm with you. I just want you to know. So I normally place this because it's loud. You see the ring of loudness over in the industrial area because it doesn't necessarily matter where you place it.
No.
So we're just going to place it. That basically is where the buses go at night, that kind of thing, and get maintenance and stuff.
Well, then I would probably split the difference. Did you already place it?
I already placed it.
We can move it though.
But
I usually try to split the.
It doesn't actually play into it. Like in the game. In real life, you'd want it in the middle. In the game, yeah. So another thing I want to point out is that they have these busways. Our city's not big enough yet for busways.
We don't have busways on the PS4.
Oh yeah, you can. So these are roads designed specifically for your buses.
We have them near here in San Fernando Valley, in Los Angeles.
So then you have this one, which is a 6-lane road with that has parking on the sides and then a busway in the middle. You have all these busways, bike lanes, all this stuff that you can build. Our city's not big enough for it yet.
Ooh, I like that one that has bike lanes with the busway in the middle.
Because here's the deal.
No, that one. What's that one?
Yeah, this is the bus with 6-lane road bus line. Here's the problem. Every road you place costs you upkeep.
I know. We don't have the traffic yet to need it. And eventually we'll go through and blast all our roads out.
Yeah, all you got to do on the PC version is you can replace them and it'll tell you if it's
upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, you upgrade them. So anyway, we placed our bus depot. Here's our bus line. Every time I click, this creates a bus stop. Let me tell you something.
Are you careful about where you put them? Because if you're not,
I am.
Okay, good. Because you said you weren't careful about placing roads. Well, that's bus lines, you have to put them like on the correct side of the road, or the bus ends up going all over the place trying to get like reverse direction.
Mm-hmm. So one, it's not that I'm not careful about placing roads. It's that my roads kind of go everywhere because I'm more about efficiency and not aesthetics. I don't care where I have to place a road in terms of like, I'll worry about noise, but my roads tend to be sometimes crooked or there's a whole thing there. And my husband has informed me my roads are ugly. So
I only care about the roads because when they do weird things, you lose land that you could put because land is limited in this game.
Yep.
You lose land to efficiently place houses and commercial and industrial and other buildings as well.
So we are a right-hand drive, which means all of my bus stops will be on the right-hand side of a road, first off. Second of all, this is where those roads that go in and out of your neighborhoods become really important.
So I'm going to say this before you do that.
Okay.
Did you know that UPS routes drivers
to the right
to make right turns? Because if you're putting them on the right side, like from this perspective, depends on which way. Okay, wait a second. So if we go that way and you want to, so where are your bus stops going to be here for efficiency?
So I'm going to place one. I'm going to place one here, and here's why you need to pick. Like why it's important to pick. We can place one back here. It doesn't matter. You place on this road, and you know the area of effect by the wave of smiles. So you got to pay attention. So watch. Like let's just start it here, Eric, because we can. Adjust.
We can delete it later.
Yeah.
This is free, by the way. Putting down bus lines.
Yeah, they didn't smile. I don't know why they didn't smile, but they do cost you an upkeep. Bus lines do.
Oh, do they? Oh, yeah. Per bus. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, notice is trying to direct it that way. I don't like that. So instead I'll go over here.
No, so my question is why, okay, let's do that. Let's see.
See, that's our area of effect. So none of these people in the middle.
Right. So what I'm saying is using the UPS rule, you would run it the other way. So that constantly making right turns into the neighborhood, looping through, turn into the next neighborhood, but you're going the other way.
Well, it doesn't, the thing is it doesn't really matter where you started as long as you remember, like, okay, so down here, they're not getting bus stops yet because there's no outlet yet for the neighborhood down there. But if we started here,
do you run one big bus line or like multiple small bus lines?
I run multiple small bus lines, and then I eventually do what's called a bus interchange.
Okay.
And then all your bus lines run through your bus interchange. Or because remember, I'm used to dealing with a city with, 300, 400,000 people. This is a city with 2,700.
I'm getting there in my big city too, but I don't have any of the mods. So I'm trying to do it with just.
We probably only need, watch this. For purposes of just like getting our buses started.
We don't have to go back into the neighborhoods, but that means there are more cars that go into and out of the neighborhood still.
Mm-hmm. Look, so then we go like this. Watch this.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And then you complete the line.
Yeah.
Now, this game overcharges you to heck and back. So we're just going to go with 3 buses because it says it's unbunching. Doesn't work. So you all have too many buses, which are extra large vehicles on your roads. So I always remove vehicles and go with the minimum that we possibly can do. And I think this is a 3.
You never actually fill up all your buses that you have running.
Yeah, and we don't want to talk about the mod I'm running, so we're just going to ignore that.
Oh.
It helps with your traffic management. But look, now we have buses. So like here, let me zoom in and let me find that bus stop. Notice this house that upgraded because public transit in this game. Where's our bus stop? There it is. Is that it? Yeah, there it is. So look at our people at the bus stop. This is Howard Clark. He's a supervisor at M&H Clothing. So he's going to probably be going to work over in that industrial area. This is the clerk at the organic food store.
Bella is wagging a Trader Joe's back. That's that noise.
You go, Bella. I love your dog.
What are you doing, Bella?
Yeah. I mean, we won't play
out of here right now.
We won't play too much longer today, but we'll play this again next Sunday. Our goal right now, Eric and I's goal right now is that as it is Sunday in the United States, we'll play at different times. So if you're actually interested in playing with us, as in commenting, by next Sunday, we hope to be actually live streaming this to YouTube. So you guys can hopefully give us comments live.
Well, and there may be weird times at which we live stream it at other points or live stream other stuff too. Yeah,
just subscribe to the YouTube channel and you won't miss anything. Like that's the truth, is that if that's the only way.
No, it's actually hitting the alert button. Subscribing, yes, but alert button is what actually informs you.
Yeah, you got to pay attention because Eric and I have weird schedules for regular life. And that makes that really informs when we have time to do this stuff. So.
And of course we put that at the end of the video.
Yeah, that's okay.
We're not very good at asking people to subscribe.
No, we're not. And my hope is that people will forgive us and play with us.
Oh, but did you watch the videos all the way to the end that I sent?
I did.
Did you hear the new thing at the end?
I like that. I was thinking, oh, Eric made me look like I need to work harder.
What are you talking about?
Everything
I didn't think that my video editing program would allow me to add extra audio.
Oh yeah, you got to do voiceover stuff. I think almost all video editing lets you do that.
Yeah, well, I'm just using the Windows freebie one.
Yeah, does it let you do fade outs though? We need to talk about that. No.
I don't know. Maybe if I ever get my Vegas software from what's the name of the company that I would have a real video editing software that I never actually got and I paid for it. All right, where are we at?
So we're looking at our public transit, which I know it has more than 2 passengers. I don't care what it says. I feel like it's
well, it will eventually. It won't right now. It will have more if you turn on free bus fare.
Oh yeah, let's do that under policies.
And turn bus expenses up to 150%. Maybe you won't do that. I don't know.
I don't need to do that. We're not going to get into why, but let's see. Buses. Oh, we don't have it unlocked yet. I think it's under city planning. We have recycle plastic.
Let's turn that on.
Bang.
Oh wait, 100 cents per 100.
We only have 1 recycling center right now, so we're okay.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
We don't have free
Well, how's our
public.
happiness right now? Everyone's very happy. So we don't have to, we can save some of this up for when we have a rough patch.
Yeah, when we need to like boost their happiness, but 5,000 is our population goal to turn on free public transit, where that's when people will begin to use it. And that public transit actually clears up your roads. Like, oh, Eric,
What?
we have I see dead people.
Okay. What do we need?
What do we need? Well, the only option
No, we only have one option.
is the cemetery.
Okay. But we have some free space where you could put it like near the roundabout or something.
Oh,
Where it's kind of dead space.
okay, we'll put it here, but let me tell you something.
No, it's too far away.
Well, let me tell you a secret about the cemetery.
What?
People like it.
I know, but putting it really?
Eric, I don't expand the
it doesn't make
neighborhood
any
that way.
sense. I still don't want to do it. It doesn't have to be right there. It could be somewhere more pleasant.
You're
Like
so
next to
funny.
a freeway.
Eric's hysterical. What, like that?
Well, no, it's too far away. So I'm thinking, I'm pointing. You can't see where I'm pointing. I'm
No.
thinking nearer on, okay, see where the roundabout is?
Yeah, you don't want anything on these roads. Unless
Okay,
we're
then
gonna
I'm
do it
saying
later.
put it on the feeder road that goes into town, and that should get green lines going through the entire. See, it still isn't going because you got
No, but that's okay because here's the deal.
What?
The green lines are the most saturated, which means if there's no dead bodies on the green lines, they go beyond the green line. That's one
Well,
of the
then
things
it doesn't matter. I would still put it then over near the river since people do like it.
You mean like over here?
Yeah, where you had it originally.
Oh, okay.
To try to maximize the happiness of the population there in our suburb.
Yay, dead bodies.
Yeah, see, everybody's happy.
So I have a very practical thing about dead bodies. As soon as possible, I will remove all cemeteries and I only do crematoriums. So you can judge me. I don't know what that means from a moral standpoint. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, Eric.
I remove cemeteries as soon as possible and I add crematoriums.
Yeah, what is that? I want to hear what other people think of that. Like from a
I don't know. Like, and again, here's the thing. If this were real life, that wouldn't be an option because in real life, some people prefer burial.
Internment, yeah.
And some people prefer cremation.
Mm-hmm.
In the game, they're agnostic to it. They just want access to the services of
Body
helping
removal.
someone who has died.
Yep.
And the way you do that is you take them to a cemetery, which is finite, or a crematorium, which pollutes a little bit from.
Yeah. No, the crematoriums don't pollute.
Oh, they don't?
Nope. They make noise, but they don't pollute. So
Okay.
look, here's our little cemetery. And as it gets full, they'll actually be full of headstones. And the ironic thing is in real life, I absolutely love old cemeteries. So it's funny that in the game, I'm like, it's got to go.
the game isn't real, right?
True.
That's the difference. And we're trying to apply a moral and ethical lens through liberal theology.
Yeah.
Or the lenses of however that should be said. And so sometimes things are going to be a little bit complicated as we try to inject real world philosophy and spirituality into an artificial environment that doesn't actually have those lenses as part of how the game operates.
Yep. I mean, there's some seriously, now you can get wrapped around some serious things. One of the things that like our professional gamer likes to do that I occasionally will do is I do things like, watch this. Oh, it's a child going Ashton Scott and they're going home. You can really get wrapped around some minutia and watch people's walking commutes to try to manage traffic. I've done this whole thing once where I put in all these Skyway walking paths based on following my pedestrians around.
That's one thing you could do with your time.
Hey, I'm being judged. This is what I do with my time.
Wait, look at that building. It's got a garden on the roof.
Yes, this is the community school rather than, this is the charter
Oh,
school.
that's the community school. Okay, I
Yes.
already like the community school better than the elementary school.
Yeah,
Just for
see the
that.
kids playing? Like it's so welcoming. It's brightly colored. They have all sorts of like free play. It's got solar on the roof because the community school is just a green building, so it's solar. And we have an arts high school as soon as it unlocks to go with it.
Alrighty.
So I don't know what else we want to do today, Eric, because we can set goals. One of the elder care, that's a whole moral conversation.
No, you always, most of the buildings that you put in, like child health center and elder care, they make your population happy. What you're giving up is the ability to build a house on that land or commercial.
Yeah, potentially. I don't think, see, again, I don't think that way. So
I'm not saying you do, but that is the opportunity cost of having that chunk of land is you can build whatever you want on it. And so but my opinion is the more things you build for community goodness like that, where people are happy, the easier it is to build your city up more quickly.
So here's the other thing, and this is real truth. So the max out of the game is 1 million people. And if you unlock 81 tiles, you can do 1 million people with ease. The gentleman
is that the max number of tiles on a map, a 9x9?
Is 81 tiles. Yep. When you go out, it's 81 of these. Now, the thing is, you can put 1 million people on something, if you do it crazy, on something like 20 tiles. Because I'm
at 110,000 on 8, and I don't have a particularly efficient city in my biggest city.
Yeah. So the thing is I treat it like real cities where I want some buffer, because we can do 81 tiles. And we're not going to get 1 million people in our little Townsville.
But people need parks. Well, we might long term.
Yeah, yeah. And I want parks, and I want it to be.
People start watching this. We'll build it to 1 million people.
Yeah, watch, and we'll build it to 1 million because I can do it. But in order to do it, it's a challenge. It's a specialty way to build.
If we get to that point, I will buy it on PC, and maybe my computer will run it, or maybe it will not.
So here's the problem. We don't have enough people. I have to go over, and we're going to have to find a way. How do you want to expand? Do we want to start another neighborhood? Because this neighborhood is what I would consider to be full in its shape.
What?
This is how I do it. So I can add houses. When I say full, I mean, I don't want to expand this particular neighborhood anymore. I want to start another neighborhood. Yes,
which means buying a tile, which is why you have 81 tiles, and you've maxed out your tiles. And that, like, how do you do that?
I can go across the river.
Well, I understand that, but before you build all those houses, this is where I would start building mini roads, which I know because of intersections. But what I might do then is build a single road across by the waterfront, and then put little extensions out so you can build your happiness piers. And
so you want to make this like a waterfront park area,
right? Because then you can put all the happiness buildings and the happiness.
Yeah, but you don't need to put them just there.
Well, I understand that, but if you don't have a way to get to the water, you lose the ability to build those types of buildings, and they don't take up housing space, right? I'm all about maximizing
and I'm all about
square.
That's funny.
And you want to expand it, but the thing is without building your population, you don't get more squares to expand, and so it's all the same thing. You can build efficiently and then suddenly buy a bunch more squares. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but we do have a nice building spot across the river.
Yeah, and here's what I was going to suggest we do. I don't typically cross here until later, and here's why I say that: because it causes traffic problems. Again,
where do you cross the river?
I cross the river at the other end of this beautiful roundabout we made that is the funnel of the city. That's why I won't let Eric put anything on there. I'm like, no, don't do it, because later we're going to expand those roads and it's going to take up more space.
That's fine.
So I'm mentally already going, that's going to take up more space. So
hey, our fire department little thing down there is flashing.
No, that's actually, we don't have enough workers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't have enough people. So we're going to take it across the river, and we're just going to give them a 90-degree turn. I can hear Ian yelling at me now. Why did you go 90 degrees? Because this is not highway.
And you don't make it's not an intersection right now, so it's
No,
I
it's
know
just
it
the
might
elbow.
slow traffic down, but it's not as bad as.
And when I make it a T, I can make it, if I make it a T in either direction later, I can turn it into another roundabout, which
And
was,
we're not going to make it a four-way because, yes, James.
I have something to tell you.
What's that?
But can you be on mute?
I can be on mute.
okay, I'm gonna work on this next neighborhood that we're gonna build. That's too close.
You forgot what he was going to say. He'll come back.
Oh, okay. So here's the other deal. Like you see this road that,
He remembers, so I'm going to.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mute.
He downloaded a new Minecraft skin pack.
Oh, nice. So I'm gonna build, like Eric talked about, the road right next to the river. This is again back to that idea that you should only have one or two entrances in and out of a neighborhood.
I also have one more cupcake for today.
Yes.
All right, cupcake dad, I'm loving it. So I'm gonna put the other one here, and we're just gonna call it good. Like this is what I do. This is why I have hundreds of thousands of people. Again, my husband's like, really? And I just laugh. Because I do everything I can in my power to minimize intersections. Because that actually helps your traffic.
Yep.
The irony of it, oh yeah, that's gonna be right.
It is yes, because it is counterintuitive, and I have way too many intersections.
Well, let me
I
read.
tried it in my new neighborhood though that I'm building, which is all one-way streets.
Yeah, how'd that
I
work?
have very long runs. The problem is I haven't gotten it to expand enough yet.
Gotcha.
Because in the living area of the neighborhood where it's all commercial and residential, it's growing just fine. I kind of ran out of room on the other side of the freeway where it's all industrial.
Gotcha. And that happens sometimes. Like that's
Yeah, and I kind of got bored with the layout, so I need to go back to it and just do it. But I've been so busy with work and school that,
I understand.
hey, you know what I'm thinking about doing with this video?
What?
Turning it in my counter-oppressive, creating media that counters oppressions.
You should. This is exactly what this is. We're talking about.
I know we're talking about stuff, and I owe reflections, 2 reflections by the end. And what I may do is turn in one of these and then write about what we're doing.
Okay. I put all the pipes in just in case anybody was like, what's she doing?
Yeah. Oh, and we don't have electricity yet.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to string across the water, which is very unrealistic, but whatever.
No, it isn't.
Okay.
They run quite long runs of electric wire on, like, not in neighborhoods. You wouldn't do it. Like, nobody wants to live under the power lines that can go across an entire river, or the ones like when you have those in communities, it's where potentially you have cancer clusters because you have people living underneath giant power lines that are transmitting power across hundreds of miles, and that can be potentially dangerous.
So let's talk about.
I get what you're doing. I get what you're doing with the neighborhoods, and I haven't used this strategy before, and I'm curious to try the less intersections mode in my own cities. But I think I'm gonna have to start over because I have a giant complicated city. I don't know if I can make it work.
So this is the thing. You go through and you look at it, and I just deleted that road.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I deleted that road because Ian's going to make fun of that road. I'm going to put it back in because I agree with that road, but this is going to be a traffic boggle later.
It is, but here's the issue. Like, yes, traffic, but for schools, you have to add more schools if you want true coverage because people won't drive that far to go to an elementary school.
Yep. And I was getting ready to just say that. This new neighborhood, you notice they didn't, even though the bar was high, they didn't move in right away. Well, there's no services. Yeah. There's no medical clinic.
Well, there's a lag time.
Police station or schools. And that means they don't like to move in. So
we need a clinic. Do we have a clinic yet?
We have one, and I'm getting ready to place another one. That's what I was just saying, like going into is the idea that they don't want to live over here because over here is better. Well,
they'll start, but they'll get unhappy really quickly.
Yeah. So
And it's also, it is far away from jobs. So we have a
Yep.
little bit of an issue with that. So we're going to need some bus lines.
Bus lines, absolutely. So one of the things that I like to do is when I build a neighborhood like this, whether it's like this or not, I always try to place these to maximize their coverage. This is the most, because you put them at a cross street, which was driving Eric crazy before. I instinctively do that because I build neighborhoods. And when I build neighborhoods, I place my services at cross streets. So it gets the farthest spread. They can save the most simulated people if they need to.
But in the real world, that's a you end up twice a day at a school clogging that intersection.
Yes. This is one of those in the game versus real life moments where you run into these, and we're not going to talk anymore about the police. We're just going to do it. But this is where you get into like, what does it mean to do the things? Oh, we have a high school.
Oh, good. Oh, we didn't hit 5,000.
No, not yet.
Well, in this planned community here, we should just put a high school and just.
Absolutely.
God, we're going to need 2 high schools.
It's a big area.
Not right there. Put it like you know what? So, okay, you see your little, okay, I can't, in the very middle of the triangle. It's right behind my camera. I can't see it. Where you.
Up, down, left, right. Oh. It sounds like our expert needed some assistance. Oh, right here. What do you guys think? Talking to nobody, but that's okay. We'll put it there. Again, like I was explaining, I typically build these where it's all green, but that's actually unrealistic in the sense that you don't have to actually make them all green to make it cover. It doesn't actually need to be all green, because if there's seats at the table, so to speak, if there's room in the school and there happens to be people there, they'll go into the gray a little bit. So in a neighborhood like this, you actually will get educational coverage, which matters to me. Ideally, I will do another school somewhere in here so that I get extra coverage, because I like schools. This is part of that, like, I live my UU values, where I think that education is one of the answers to a lot of things. Not to everything, but to a lot of things. And this is why I end up building extra schools, and why when I made the leap to Industry 4.0, my population was so highly educated that it didn't even like flutter on the system. Everybody was so educated that it didn't matter. And that was part of that, like, that's part of that conversation of what it means to have some unconscious bias. So now we're back to losing money, but our population is getting ready to grow. So let's go ahead and just plan for it. Now you notice that our little high schools up here don't have any power, and that's because nobody's built to it yet. So I'm not going to place a park yet. One of the ways that I can facilitate people moving in and facilitate the movement of power is that if you place a park, it spreads your power so that people can actually go through the park to get power, and it increases your land values. But we haven't placed a park yet. So I'm going to wait for Eric to come back, and then I'll talk about placing a park. So we'll just stick with zoning, because one of the other things is like, this area is going to need some commercial, right? Like, these people shouldn't have to go all the way to the other side of the map to get their milk. So what I do so that the commercial zones benefit and they get the most access to their supplies quickly is I place my commercial normally like this, like on the edge. Like in a real city, if you think about like a suburb and you think about where people grocery shop, they grocery shop right outside their neighborhoods. Well, I do the same thing because it makes sense. Again, you can get access to their resupply, and it allows it to be convenient for people coming and going from their homes to pick up their milk. I'm explaining.
Yeah, what Erien said.
I'm explaining why I'm placing commercial on the edges. And again, this low density commercial can be placed right next to regular houses. And we're not going to play too much longer today. I know,
and I'm learning a lot for my own personal games, but I don't really play anymore because I'm just so busy.
I know. So I was going to place my first park.
Oh, nice.
And
Oh, a bouncy castle.
now here's the deal. The bouncy castle, let me explain this. The bouncy castle only cost me $4,800 or $48 a week to maintain. That's really cheap. But let me tell you something. This game is skewed toward families because it wants you to have more people. Because look at the happiness coverage of the bouncy castle park. It's
Giant.
it's one of the largest in the game. So people always joke, these famous streamers with this game always joke about how they place the bouncy castle time. Because
I'm learning a lot today.
it is so cheap to place it. So I'm kind of giggle when I place it because all I think about is my own kids. And every time we would pass somebody, you know, like those little carnivals set up. And every time I place it, a smile thinking about them going, oh, Mom, can we stop? Can we stop?
My neighbors are kings of the bouncy castle party.
Yes.
And every time they have one in their backyard, because their house sits up above ours, James asks about it.
So you see this spot I saved over here?
Yeah.
I saved it for
Castle.
bouncy castle. Bang!
I think we need another one in the opposite corner from there.
You mean right here?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Because you notice that the land values are going to go up based on the fact
I'm all about happiness. That's the secret to this game. And part of it is traffic, which you're better at for sure. And I don't know. I guess I'll have to.
Well, it's not so much about being better at it. It's that I look at it from the idea of like game theory. Like this is the parameters of the game. And then the gray area comes in is when you're going, okay, how does this translate to real life? What's the struggle here? And there is some struggles. And you notice, by the way, so we were losing money, Eric, when I placed the parks. And you'll notice that because the land value went up, what happened when the land value went up?
We make more money.
Their taxes went up.
Yeah.
So, so that's another secret people don't pay attention to in the game is that they're taxed at a higher rate the moment that their land values go up, just like real life. So,
yeah, I'm in California. It doesn't work that way here.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. For most people, they understand that when your land value goes up. And you also saw that whenever I placed this area, just for people who are in building, I put this zoning here because the electricity was here. And then I don't have to put electricity all over the place.
No, that's that. Yeah. Well, our cities, we're almost to 5,000. We will get there quickly. Like if we were to just sit here and keep watching the city for a while, we're going to get up to probably 4,000 with what we have right now.
Yep.
And then we would have to expand a little more in this neighborhood, and then we would be at 5.
So I actually would like to show you something else right before we leave that I really use. And that is the fact that these are districts. So I'm going to draw 3 districts. And then we're going to talk about why.
Okay.
So let me draw a district, which I use districts as neighborhoods because it helps me manage things.
Okay. So I don't do this yet, but I'm not an expert at this game.
I'm not an expert. What are you talking about? Anyway.
Okay.
So when you do this enables you to set policies specific.
Oh, for specific. Yes. Go ahead. Sorry. Keep explaining.
Yeah, no. You can set policies. And I know this industrial area is going to come down to here probably. So we're just going to extend it out. I can always adjust these later if we need to. But the other thing that's the strawberry. Oh, that is not going to stay that name. And then this will be our 3rd neighborhood. I like to do this neighborhood to neighborhood. And I do it this way because it helps me with my population understanding. It helps me with my educational understanding. Because once you do this, you can see what policies are in effect. Our whole city has the plastic policy. So they recycle their plastics. So that shows up underneath here. What this also does for you is we're going to name these. So that's actually my call to have people suggest names for these 3 districts. We have the industrial district. We have 2 housing districts. But you go in here and most of our city lives in this area. It tells you the demographics. It tells you how old somebody is. It tells you. So you could have an area where you're like, oh, we need more elder care. These are our retirees. Oh, these are our youth. We need more youth care. Like this is the way that you can serve the people that are in these districts better. And look, let's set a policy for here. Like here's one. We're going to do, I can't do the heavy traffic ban, which is what I was going to do. You can do a heavy traffic ban where large trucks aren't allowed to drive through the neighborhood.
You could click on prefer parks. That's probably
Okay.
a pretty simple one.
Yeah,
I don't
prefer
know.
parks. We have 2 parks in this area, so this is good.
Yeah.
So it's 200. So what it is tourists in the area, which we don't have tourists yet. So this one may not work, but often.
Park maintenance boost. Check that one out.
Okay, park maintenance.
Let's
boost.
do a real one.
Park maintenance service in the area does double shifts, costing more money, but tending parks more efficiently. It increases the park maintenance vehicles shift by 50%, and it costs
extra.
80.
Yeah, you're paying overtime.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Or we can do free Wi-Fi.
Let's 2 cents a building.
Yeah.
Oh, so it reduces trash.
Yeah, and it reduces mail because
in general.
we haven't put in the mail yet, the postal service, but we'll get there.
That's not in the basic game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Pick one. It doesn't matter. We're just doing it for the purposes of demonstrating what goes on in our policies.
We have a free Wi-Fi now. But
now the people in the one that's south of it, is that south or north?
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. In West Heights are going to be like, why don't I have free Wi-Fi?
Yep, and we're going to get tweets about it because that's what happens is your people talk to you through tweets. We didn't talk about that. When they're happy, you get these cute ones like, good morning, everybody. We love you.
That, that person's name was William Wright. Was that
yeah,
William Wright?
We have Julie Gray here, who's like, which is an actual fact, by the way, 2.5 million plastic bottles are thrown out every hour. And because we have the policy about recycling plastic turn-on, we get these tweets about it, which is fun. So you get facts and you learn things. Our vacation was extended. Look how trusting, because we have a very low crime. So this is showing that our crime is low, is that the people are trusting. It's sort of a fun, like, touch base with how your people are doing. They make comments. So my call out to people, if you've actually made it through here, and we'll put it in the description probably too, is that we need to name these 3 districts. If nobody suggests anything, Eric and I will come up with something from UU history.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what we're going to name them after because of, or maybe liberal theological history for various reasons.
For reasons.
But regardless, as we did with Julia Ward Howe, who was a Unitarian poet.
Poet. We can talk about it.
And we already had Ward Street, so it made sense. Like, if it's going to give us the hint, we're going to take it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, we can start from scratch.
Although I'm pretty sure one of these, if nobody suggests one, is going to become Star King neighborhood.
It should.
And
but then we're going to have to move it later.
Oh, that's a comment on our school moving. So one real quick thing before we go is I owe these people a high school.
Yes.
So because the other neighborhood has one. So the Institute of Creative, and it's big. And oh yes, look, I conveniently left a spot.
We're going to need multiples of them.
Yes, this is what I was just explaining when you had to go and take care of our gaming expert. They actually cover more than the green. It's just you maximize, it's 100% saturation when it's in the green. But there will be people who still choose to go to this high school outside of the green.
I don't build that way.
I normally don't either. I'm just explaining because right now we're not making a ton of money.
Okay.
And we can go back later and you can actually put a high school.
Add more. Yes. I'm with you.
So we'll put it here now. And actually
the happiness is spreading out.
Which means that's the impact of it potentially.
Yes.
So there's a whole thing there. I normally build green to green as it is, which was what I was explaining when I turned on my 4.0 because I built green to green. Every road was green for education. I jumped into 4.0 with 0 problems.
Yeah.
So, oh no.
What?
We're look at our electricity again.
Do we? Okay. Oh, wait. Go back. We've got the 12,000 megawatt windmills, so we could put those.
Oh, you're talking about the advanced water turbines. Okay. Yeah. Which we can do for now, but later we need to remove them because they mess with your river water levels. Well, and your river water levels.
No, they don't.
Oh yeah. When you reach 300,000 people, they do.
Why?
I just had a whole city flood. We don't want to talk about that. It was a horrible day.
But that's no. I've had that happen with the hydroelectric.
So look, this is the other problem with it is that
Is
everybody.
noise. No, but you've got like cutouts where you don't have houses. So if you go further, not that far, maybe that far.
Right there.
Yeah.
So now I have to put power lines in, which is okay.
Oh, you know what? You could move it.
That's okay. Right there. Bam. Done.
Okay.
I don't mind building a power line, but that is good for now.
Yep.
It's our water power.
All right, UU Townville.
Yeah, UU Townville. This has been, and if you have suggestions for games we should play, you talk about. We didn't get too deep into theology today because there was just explaining the game, but
it was practical theology. It was the ethics and morals of how to build a city. I wonder if there's ever been, because weird groups, and I'm not saying Unitarian Universalism is weird, but groups who you wouldn't expect to create planned communities have built cities before, and Elon Musk is doing it right now with Star City down in Texas.
And I wonder what that's going to look like.
Taking over an incorporated city and going to build I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm curious.
Well, and then there was this, what is it, Greenville, that was wiped out by the tornado, and Leonardo DiCaprio did all that stuff by making the whole city green. There were some very angry people about that one, but it's still green. It's still considered one of the greenest cities in America. They have like almost 0 carbon footprint as a city, but they had to be wiped completely off the map, and then they had to be crowdfunded. So there's some interesting discussions there, but I invite you guys to tell us what you think, other games we should play. And when we live stream, I think our next one's going to be Sunday when we work on the city. I hope you guys come. So, and share with your friends. This is fun.
And again, we might do some other live stream stuff too.
Oh gosh, yeah, we need to. But this is the theology,
Let's play.
Yeah, let's play theology.
With liberal theology.
Let's play with liberal theology, which is what our theology is. And this one happens to be City Skylines, the first episode, UU Townsville. Which is what our city is named.
Was Townsville from that cartoon Powderpuff Girls? Yeah,
except ours doesn't have an S. Townville is actually what ours is called, but so we don't have any copyright issues. So thanks for playing with us. Again, let's name some neighborhoods.
Yeah, and streets. Oh, and if you send us, and if you send us names and we haven't done a 3 minutes in UU history on it, maybe we'll do an episode on whatever you suggest.
Bye.
Bye.